Good morning, and welcome to Tube Talk with D. So I'm going to get right into it this morning. A couple of days ago, uh, Mr. Hampton, Robert Hampton, aka Mr. LaTruth, he put out a message, and he just wanted peace. He wanted peace. He wants all the negativity to stop. He wants to be able to co-parent. Um, is what his post was saying. He wants all the negativity to stop. I've been saying that in the midst of all of this negativity, in the midst of all of this confusion, in the midst of all the animosity, in the midst of all the back and forth, as the divorce got more messier and more messier, I've said all along that, Robert, Mr. LaTruth, he's the only someone who can put a stop to all of this. He's the only someone who can call all of the parties involved and just put a stop to it, put a stop to the back and forth. Um, you know, Miss Brianna, she didn't bring Robert's brother and Robert's sister into the mix of this. They brought themselves into the mix of this. But all along, it could have been Robert who could have said, hey, sister, let's stop all this. Let me fight this battle. I got this. Hey, brother, I got this. Let's not make this any more harmful to to my family, my kids, or whatever was going on. They probably could have gotten back together and worked through this, but because it had gotten so messy and all the families were, other family members had gotten involved, because you don't see, like I've said before, you don't see Brianna's family on here being messy trying to drag Robert. You don't see Brianna's sisters getting on here dragging them. You don't see her brother. She hasn't rallied with anyone to get back at them for anything. When she started calling herself Team Bree, when she started doing that, I think she kind of wanted some support, the support that Robert had with his family, or the support that his family had for him. She didn't have that from her family. She, because she was never just outspoken and in the limelight like Robert was in the limelight. So I really, just in my opinion, I really kind of believe that Robert could have been stopped this mess and this drama and the turmoil. He now realizes that this does hurt the kids. The kids are being brought into the mess now at this point. And at what point are you guys going to stop? You know, she actually shared the post that Robert posted, about him wanting peace. She said that she strongly agrees. She wants to co-parent. But just yesterday, she was on live shaking and gyrating and doing all of this attention seeking live on Instagram. And if you caught the live on Instagram on yesterday, she was playing her music, yelling, "That's why they mad. That's why they mad." Now, Brianna, how y'all are going to move on and you're still yelling that that's why they're mad? If it's not one of you, if it's not all of you all speaking, negative toward one another, it's one of you all out of the group is going to do it. And at some point, it needs to stop. It's going to have to stop because things have already went over the cliff with this. CPS has been involved. Now you were crying not long ago saying that, your son saw this or that or the other. And now you want to take your kids off social media. Well, this is what happens when you have a high profile divorce that you put on social media. So with that being said, you all let it go to the extreme and go this far. You really can't blame anyone but yourself. So they have agreed to supposedly co-parent and not to slander each other's name. Now, this could be a legal issue. This could very well be something that has ties to a legal, some type of legal action going on where they both have to kind of, because people pages are getting taken. Uh, Whatever Robert has going on and they're supposed to co-parent. I do agree that Brianna is out living. She may be living her best life, but she is living a very fast one right about now. Now, how is it that Robert is calling for peace and Robert is trying to move on and you're out here sleeping with the pastor allegedly and his wife is allegedly pregnant? What is going on with that? Like, how now you put out there that you and John L are just friends. You're just a friend of these people. You're not in a relationship, but I'm trying to see how that works because just last month, you were all in New York and he's picking you up and you bending over in front of him and throwing up your middle finger. That does send a loud, strong message you know then all of a sudden as the drama escalates everything kind of stops. You have to be mindful about some things. Brianna, she's a mature woman. She has 4 children, yet you were dating or talking or involved with a man with no children who's younger than you. So just like you want to live your best life, he may be wanting to live his best life too. We've now seen how he's been tied to several females out there, and he allegedly, to me, in my opinion, he does have a type. All of them are bright skinned. But Brianna, I know sometimes when you reference the fact that you're free. Free to do what? I mean, you are free to elevate yourself and live your life, and you may feel like you don't have any rules or anything to follow as far as a husband is concerned. But at the end of the day, you may need a little bit of guidance, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to ask for permission to do anything, but you certainly need a little bit of guidance because it's kind of like that girls gone wild back in the day that we used to see. And that's kind of what your behavior is of girls gone wild. Now, how is it that you're sleeping with the pastor? And it kind of makes you wonder. We've not seen you in church since then. We've not seen you in the church house since all of this started going on. And I mean, I don't think you really understand this industry is dirty and dangerous. This industry is really dirty and dangerous. It can get wild, can get dirty, can get dangerous, and someone could get hurt. But at the end of the day, if you are sleeping with this man and he's a pastor and you befriended him, wanting prayer, allegedly you wanted a little bit more than prayer, but you're out here, you're doing all of this, and the internet is catching every little thing that you're doing. And I know you have the I don't give a F attitude right now. I understand that. I get that. But it's a way to do things. It's a way to live your best life. It's a way to elevate yourself. It's a way to evolve. That's why I say Brianna may need a little bit of guidance because right now she's just kind of out there like girls gone wild. And meanwhile, it brings about what Robert was saying. She's not used to being in the limelight like this. She's not used to all the eyes and all of the attention, being on her. And I think once she caught a taste of that as a single woman, as a free woman, and the divorce is not yet finalized, as we know. We've not heard of it being finalized yet at this moment in time. But I do believe that some things that she's doing is a little bit too much, and that's just my opinion. The sister is always saying, she's rich, she's making money. It all comes back down to, who's making money, who's making the most money, who lives in this, whose house is the biggest, whose is the, and the competition between all of them, all parties involved, because you have Brianna, then you have Robert, and then you have Robert's 2 siblings. So I can understand how Brianna can jump on defense mode at any given time, but it's like a little dog that's just barking, barking, barking when somebody's agitating them. And I feel like she feels the need to defend herself, but she still wants to pop her stuff at the end of the day as well. Um, as far as this pastor and her sleeping with him and the pastor's wife allegedly pregnant, uh, that's just going to be something. We're going to have to see how that unfolds. What I do know is that you have not seen anything else about Brianna going to church anymore. She was posting every Sunday. Now all of a sudden, and I see a pattern with her. Like Jonelle, he didn't understand what all came with 4 kids. He didn't understand what was coming with this high profile divorce that's playing out on social media. He didn't understand all that. And I don't think he wants the responsibility of any of it. Why should he? Now, he's living his best life. He doesn't have any children. He's not obligated to do anything. Brianna feels the need to come on live and prove a point about everything. And I think that's what's kind of getting her caught up in a non-reality situation. When reality, her life that's playing out is actually a reality. So I really feel like she is trying to find her way, trying to find herself, and find the balance in how to handle it all. I don't really think she's looking for love, but I do feel like her and Jonelle were more than friends. At some point, things started happening. He didn't really want any parts of it, and he kind of backed off, and she kind of wants to sweep it under the rug and make it seem like that they're friends. I've been seeing posts that they're saying that he took all of her stuff down off of his social media. He didn't. He did not. If you go to his IG page right now, all of everything of him and Brianna are still on his page, and it kind of makes you wonder. He's not posting her anymore, but she has recently posted him, and the post was talking about how they are just friends. The behavior between the both of them does not display that of just friends. It's all that I'm saying. You've put out there, you were, all in New York about the fashion week. We never saw anything about that. We never saw pictures of the runway that you allegedly walked. We do know that you had a good time and that you were there doing skits with Jonelle, and you did look like you were having a nice time. It was nothing that we saw that you said of the reason why you were there. And you could possibly have been there just to network and support him. But your trip to New York had nothing to do with you, but 100% to do with Jonelle and him promoting his endeavors, his movies, and his TV shows. So I really feel like you kind of hopped on that bandwagon the same way you say that Brianna says that Miss what's Roberts, the yoga instructor. You say that she's just doing that. She's just fooling with him for views. Yeah, girl, get your views up. Maybe she is, but is that not the same reason why you hanging out with the certain people that you're hanging out with? It just kind of makes you can't just point the finger one way and don't point it back towards yourself. So that is kind of just my perception of what is really going on with her and what's in her mind. Hey, Black Karma. Good morning. Deborah Taylor, do you think it is because she moved that she isn't going to church? They could possibly be because she moved. But I would think just because you move, I've moved, a lot over the years, and I still attend the same church. I've had to drive, a little while. I've had to just drive up the street before, and I've had to drive across town. But I still maintain my same church home if that's something that I could do. I knew that Jonelle's stuff wasn't going to work out. Miss Deborah Taylor, I don't think it worked out either. I think that young man was getting himself into something he did not realize. When you meet a young lady with kids, especially 4 children, and you have a newer baby, like a 1, 2, 3-year old, a 4-year-old, you are gonna have to do some co-parenting. And with the divorce being so fresh, I don't think that he really understood what exactly he was up against if they were going to take it past a friendship. Cliff Cliffonia, I love it. You sound so good. Said, yes, I agree with you that love Brianna talking to the pastor. She has her new man, Jonelle, stay with her. Well, I don't know if Jonelle was actually staying with her. I know that he did stay there, but I don't know under the pretenses of why. If he was just in town doing skits, they just hooked up for that. But I would definitely not have a man in my home around my children, nor would I involve my children in doing skits. That's just me. Deborah Taylor said, please don't come over here. We use logic. We talk about all them folks, not just Brianna. We do. We don't just talk about Brianna. I talk about all parties involved. I have stated this before because I am not team anybody. I'm not team LaTRUTH. I'm not team Brianna. As far as those two people go. We've not heard of the sister having her team this or team that, but I think she does refer to her followers as something. And Kevin, he doesn't have a team either, but he does refer to his followers as something. But I feel like use your platform for good. Don't use your platform for bad to try to rally up against the next person and turn your followers against someone else. I agree with because LaTruth, he is using. She just knew LaTruth like I believe she was. Well, I don't know. I can't speak facts on any of that. She used him for a come up. We don't know that. We don't know that. If she was using him for a come up, I don't think it would have lasted 6 years. 6 years is a nice little stretch, for somebody. I do believe that they both loved each other and they were at some point one while they were in love with each other. They built a family. Robert accepted her 3 children. You never heard any about too much of any drama between the men, Robert or Brianna's baby dad. Um, he did kind of speak out on a little bit. Oh, he don't take care of them and this, that, and the third, and it got messy. And that's where they should have drawn the line at that point in time when they started putting that kind of information out there, talking about the kids, bringing the kids in it, because you should have known then that the situation was going to escalate. And as it escalates, it's going to escalate for all parties involved, even the children, because that's the first thing when you go through a divorce. What's the first thing that's caught up in a divorce when you dragging out a messy divorce? The kids, the house, the money, the kids. That's all the next person, the other party is worried about, the wife or the husband, the home, the money, and the kids. Well, her and Robert only have their one child, and they were actually married for some time. So her and Robert actually have a child together, and that child is really young. So they're going to have to pull together at some point in time, because I feel like if Robert is getting the child, whatever he's supposed to get the child, she feels like she has to keep moving because her address some way keeps being leaked on the internet. And I can see how she could feel some type of way about that. I really could see, but that's why I'm saying it's getting to the point where my address shouldn't be on here. Nothing about my children should be on here. Attack me all you want to, but leave my kids out of it. And these people are too grown. Like the sister, you brought yourself into this. You have kids yourself. She keeps saying, I didn't say nothing about her kids till after CPS was called on me. That's a lie. She had been talking about those kids before the CPS thing. That is why I feel like Brianna said what she said to send CPS to her, which Brianna did not deny, because the kids were brought into it. And which they had been being spoken on for a couple of months. I mean, and you have to understand, people's feelings are involved, emotions are high and everywhere. But needless to say about all that, it's unfortunate for what's going on. I hope they can pull it together for the sake of the kids. Get it together and continue to co-parent like two civilized adults should do, per the divorce being finalized. It's just a shame. But I thank you guys for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button, like and comment. You guys, make sure you guys stay tuned in with Tube Talk with D. I'll be back later for some more information as I get it confirmed today as to why she has not been going live and or barely even posting, and the same with Robert. So it is a legal situation going on, and we have to be careful in what we say, just like they do, because they like to come for you, just like they like to come for each other. It's almost like a habit. They wake up with a rush every morning. So let's stay tuned, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in with Tube Talk with D.